It's a cold day out here on the Potomac, but let's get some shooting done. Good morning, YouTube. Today I'm going to be shooting an Obrez. It's a registered SBR, an Enfield in this case. Started its life as an Ishapore, now it's been cut down to a proper gun. In this case I'm going to shoot it in two configurations. The first one is going to be a Jawa ion blaster type configuration. The second is going to be some of the more conventional type of Obrez you might see in pictures from World War II and World War I. So I'm going to really talk about how is the recoil on these guns, how do they function, and whether or not they're even good, were they useful. One thing I will say right off the bat about the Obrez though, is that it hides fairly well. In days when pistols were restricted for other people, rifles may have been allowed, hunting rifles and rifles of that such. And being able to hide a rifle underneath your coat is pretty handy. So one question you'll hear a lot is, were Obrezes actually any use? Were they useful devices? Well, I think that most people would agree that Obrezes sort of fit under the category of a gun that you can get another gun with. So, although they may not be exceptionally useful, they can be hidden and concealed and then used to take another gun, especially during times of war. We're talking about partisan forces fighting against actual uniformed armed forces with machine guns and rifles. An Obrez, as you can see here under this coat, holds rather nicely. This particular version is an Enfield. So there are a few variations of this. As you notice, the barrel is extremely short. The butt has been cut off and turned into a pistol grip, yet it still holds 10 rounds in this case, and still is rather effective. How effective we're about to see. Okay, there we go. So, two quick thoughts about the Obrez from just shooting it there. Recoil is nothing. It's no more different than a handgun. Second thing, the concussion is extremely high. So the actual noise blast, as you would expect, given that almost all the powder is burning external of the gun, is extremely noisy. Also, shooting at a target that's about 12 yards, about the size of a man's chest. Of those rounds I fired, only 3 actually hit the target. I would say in this particular gun, since this was a bubba'd Ishapore Enfield, the rifling was not so spectacular in this gun. So only having about 2 inches or maybe a little less of rifling does not help with accuracy. That said, if the person had been 3 yards away and I was trying to sneak up on a sentry and take him out, I guess it would have done the job just fine. So I want to quickly one more time just show you how effective the Obrez is to bring into action. Although it's not ideal, again, it can be hidden under a coat, so that's nice, 1 plus there. Bringing it into action is not so bad. It's a clearing of the coat, bringing the gun up, and then firing at close range. So in this kind of a configuration, I can see it being useful. I can then quickly hide it again, cover my coat, and go back to doing whatever I was doing. So an Obrez has a use. This shortened idea, the shortened rifle, cut-off rifle has a use. And you can kind of see why short barrel rifles are something the ATF regulates. They can be hidden well under a coat, they can have relatively large magazines, although I somewhat doubt their terminal effectiveness. Just given the short length of the barrel, it seems that they're very inefficient kinetic energy delivery devices in this case. But they are a unique part of history, used by engineers and sappers during World War I, used by partisans throughout World War I and World War II, and, you know, a nice part of the collection. If you have an Enfield or a Mosin Nagant or some other rifle that was likely to have been done, it may not be a bad idea to go ahead and send in your form, register as an SBR, and then make yourself your own piece of history. Thanks.